So the 50% and 80% completion for the recent festival playlist that's just been updated doesn't have anything new in it. So you can win the RTR Mustang and Celica again if you want to. And the same goes for the 50 and 80% this season. There's not anything new. The only new car we have this week is the Bentley Turbo R. Well, I say new car, it's actually quite an old car now, but it's not been in any Forza games before, so it is something new being added soon. You might have also spotted the Jag over here that we can win soon, so you can go and test that out in Rivals already if you want to. But yeah, today's all about the Bentley. I will be coming in next week to check out the Jaguar I-Pace once that's been added, so same time next week I'll be doing that, so watch out for that. And I will also be coming in to test drive the brand new Land Rover Velar, which is actually a Range Rover Velar, so I don't know why they've called it that. You might have spotted there's a load of other cars we can win again, but those are the 3 new ones, and there's not going to be anything new in spring, so no video that week. But yeah, this week is all about the Bentley, which, as you can see, I've gone in and unlocked from doing that single seasonal championship, street race championship, to unlock this. So it's actually probably the easiest to unlock. I think the Range Rover's the same, but the Jag next week is more difficult. You have to do the 50% completion of the season. But there we go, we now have a 91 Bentley. Because at the moment we only have a 2013 and 17 car, and then all the way back to 31. Obviously we've got the Bentayga, but that's a bit different. But yeah, big 4-door Bentley, which we don't really, well, unless you count the Bentayga, or I guess that's 4-door, but anyway. The bigger limousine style car, 328 horsepower from a 6.75 litre V8, so from a massive engine, but we'll jump straight into it. But yeah, big saloon car, 4-door saloon car. It was obviously the sister car to the Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit. At the time, the two companies were kind of producing pretty much the same models. I think they had slight differences. The Rolls obviously slightly more focusing on luxury, this slightly more focusing on performance, although I say that. Generally that's how the Rolls and Bentley brands differed. But I think this is going to be a bit of a floaty boat sort of a car, a bit like the Rolls probably was. C-Class 546, it's not a powerful thing. Well, not a fast thing, it's got 300 horsepower from a V8. Not quite sure how they got such little power from such a massive engine, but anyway. And yes, it only has 3 gears. It was actually available with a 3 or 4-speed auto back in the day. It sounds alright actually, doesn't it? But yeah, big, comfortable sort of thing. Yeah, that's kind of all there is to it, as it is stock, but yeah, I do love this thing. You can actually get them really cheap now. They're like, what, 6 or 7 grand maybe? Because they weren't very good. They were hand-built and probably broke a lot. But yeah, obviously the same as the Rolls-Royce was cheap as well, I think, now, this sort of era. So yeah, it is an interesting choice. I do actually quite like it. I like that they've added something a bit weird, a bit different, an era that we wouldn't necessarily, anyone's not necessarily asked for it. But it is a new car to Forza, which I said earlier, but that's a nice change, and I do like that they're adding stuff. Anything new, I'm happy to give a go. Something a bit different, a bit fresh. But yeah, I do like that they've kind of added that era of car that you wouldn't necessarily want. But yeah, they've gone for the 91 model. It was made between 85 and 97. The 97 ones were called the Turbo RT. It kind of looked a bit more modern. But yeah. Big old thing. Basically a Rolls-Royce. I guess maybe that's why they've done it, because obviously there's no Rolls-Royce license anymore, so it's kind of almost a way of getting a Rolls in here without getting a Rolls in here. I guess it's that kind of idea, big, luxurious sort of boat, basically. But yeah, like I said, not amazingly fast. Interesting fact about Bentleys. Do you know how you can spot it's a V8 and not a W12? The badges are red. on a on a W12 car, I believe they're black, the little B. So if you see a Continental these days and you're not sure what engine it is, go and look at the badge. I mean, obviously we already know this is a V8, I think that was all it came with. But anyway, that's enough of me going on about this car. Let's head over to the house, conveniently just round the corner here in... We just drifted the Bentley. Conveniently just round the corner here we have a house, so let's head on in there, see what upgrades, and we did it again. See what upgrades and customization are available for the big Bentley. Oh, we put it in reverse. That can't be good for the gearbox. Right, yes, let's see what upgrades and customization are available. I'm not expecting a lot. I'm kind of expecting Forza Aero, if I'm honest, and that's about it. Shall we have a look? That actually isn't as hideous as I thought it would be, because I thought it would have the big tow hook thing sticking out. And... oh, interesting. It's that style of wing. Not that I want it, but I suppose that's slightly better than the full, massive, stupid thing. What I might do, actually, is if we... maybe not those, but if we change the wheels out on this, we don't really want anything sporty. Just something to make it look a little bit newer, maybe, because they're very dated style wheels. We could just put those on it, but... and I feel like something like the Brabus wheels, almost... it's the right sort of style. I know you don't really want Brabus wheels on a Bentley, but... it's that kind of... it looks more like a luxury car wheel than a lot of these racing style. I might actually do that, because I don't think that looks too bad. Or we've got your sort of... there's some more Brabus wheels here, or we've got your, like, big chrome... why do I not hate that? I don't know why. That kind of works on this car. I don't think I can quite bring myself to do that, though. Or that. What else have we got? There's nothing quite right. I think we're... the closest we're going to find to a sort of more modern... luxury style looking thing is probably... yes, you've got the dub wheels, which are ridiculous. I think we should put those Brabus wheels on, though. They look better than the Bentley wheels, let's be honest. Those are very dated now. Right, let's... it's interesting, the tyre widths and stuff. These massive wide tyres and the style of rear wing that they've given us is usually what Forza does for muscle cars. Which I guess big V8, it kind of is like an old muscle car, big, not many gears. We won't put tyre writing on, but I might upgrade those. So we're into B-Class already. It might make a... probably won't make a good B-Class car, it's just going to be too heavy, I think. We'll put our usual gearbox bits on. And stuff like that. Usual sort of upgrades. I might take it to the top of B-Class. I've kind of been doing that recently with the cars, actually. I mean, in real life you wouldn't do that because it's just going to make it terribly uncomfy, but it does look better. Roll cage, no. Weight reduction. It probably needs it. I just think it's more realistic maybe to not have it. Maybe we'll just put air filter in here. Can we get away with anything else? Air filter and flywheel. And there we go. We have a B-Class vehicle built up from the middle of C. We've got a little bit more horsepower. A little bit less weight. Not too bad, I don't think. I will have a quick look and see what the wonderful Forza community has come up with in the way of designs, but I'll probably end up doing a plain colour, which is what I usually do. So... find new designs. If there's anything good, we'll do it, but I'm expecting a lot of... Ooh, interesting. Turbo R-Line. That kind of looks more like a Rolls. Forza livery, right. Why does that look longer than all the others? I mean, none of them fit on the page. That's actually quite cool. I like that. Yes. Quite like the barn find. That's a cool idea as well. Not sure I want to do that to my Bentley, but... the blue's quite nice. That I do actually quite like, the two-tone. But I'm going to be boring and choose a colour. Assuming we have... Oh! I did not expect to see a bright red. That I quite like, the classic racing green. The blue with the red stripe is very cool. Kind of looks a bit newer. These lighter colours kind of show up the lines a bit too much. Make it look a bit dated. Though I say that, I don't actually mind the white. It's not usually a colour I'd go for, and I'm not sure about the gold striping, but I think that suits this car quite well. Unless we go for like a grey metal flake, because that's the closest you can get to metallic on here. Something like that, a sort of gunmetal-y, dark grey sort of colour, I think would look quite good. But I don't think we'll do that. We'll either stick with the black, because I quite like the black with the... I don't know why it's showing black on black, because I quite like that red stripe down the side. Either that, or we go with, like, the blue or the white. I think I'm going to go with the blue, actually. The wheels I don't mind. I mean, it's a big luxury car. We're going to do some window tint, I think. Wheels I don't mind like that. I think that's pretty much how I want it. So yeah, let's head on out and see what it's actually like. What it's like to drive. We won't do a race or anything because I just don't think it's going to be very competitive. But as a cool thing to drive about in, I quite like it. Well, we'll see how it drives with these upgrades on. No, don't do that. My tunes. Can we... That's not what I wanted to go on. I wanted to go on tuning, which for some reason is a tiny little thing in the bottom corner. Right. Just purely for visual, we're going to do that. Oh, I should probably actually, because gearing's always geared towards speed far too much on this game, let's put that at... Should we put that at 3.3? We won't put it too high. Perfect. Right. What is our B-class Bentley boat actually like? That does actually sound quite good. Doesn't sound as generic as a lot of V8s do on here. Look at the wheel fitment. Hang on. I'm going to have to go into photo mode for this. I mean, that's going to rub on your wheel arch. I've not seen Forza. Okay. Perfect, I think. That's exactly what you want your Bentley to do. Oh, we've been joined by a noisy rotary car. Come back here. That's a noise. Right, how does this look? Oh, those are a bit dark to see off. How many gears do we have now, actually? 6. I feel like that's more appropriate. There we go, it's probably the 3rd biggest Bentley in the game, apart from a Bentayga. It's kind of longer than a Bentayga, isn't it? Big, long limousine sort of thing. Apart from the Cadillac limousine, this is probably one of the longest vehicles in the game. Look at that's going to have a lot of legroom in the back. Look at that door. We managed 80 through a speed trap. I'm impressed. I'm impressed at the speed Windsor Castle can reach. I think from now on this Bentley will be known as Windsor Castle. It's massive. But yeah, the old Bentley, obviously the 1930s 8-litre thing, is huge. Bentayga's pretty big. So it probably isn't the biggest Bentley, but it's a lot bigger than you'd like Continentals and stuff. But there we go. It's a very boxy Bentley from obviously late 80s, early 90s. I think the later ones looked a bit more rounded. But yeah, like I said, obviously built based on the Rolls Royce, so big, boaty luxury car basically. Slightly odd choice from Forza. I like it. I'm pleased it's here, but I don't quite know what their thinking is with new cars. And I love this thing. It's a bit of a weird thing to add. It's a bit mad. But a generation of Bentley that's not very valuable anymore, that nobody seems to really want to collect or anything. So yeah, an interesting choice, but at least it's a car we haven't had before, and I do like the thing, so I'm pleased to see it here. I'm quite pleased with the cars we're getting this month, actually. Not necessarily what people would have requested or expected, but I quite like the choice. It's kind of the British cars, I guess. British non-performance cars. I mean, the I-Pace that we're getting is fast. Velar's not bad, but yeah, focusing less on the sporty stuff, but I quite like these cars, and I'm very much looking forward to particularly driving the I-Pace, but also the Velar once that is out. But there we go. I think that's probably going to do it for a first look at the Bentley Turbo R here on Forza Horizon 4. I do recommend going and getting this thing, actually. It's a bit different to the sort of usual either supercars or Japanese cars or muscle cars or anything. Big British luxury car is something a bit unusual, a bit different. Obviously we've got the Continentals, but this much more a limo, a bit like the Rolls Royces. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to testing out the Jaguar I-Pace. That video will be out same time next week, so make sure you check that one out once it's here. And then into winter season I will be testing out the Range Rover Velar, which for some reason is called the Land Rover Velar on here. And in spring there's nothing, so don't worry about that. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's video, taking a first look at this new Bentley that's just been added to the game. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.